Madam Speaker, Madam Vice President. No president has ever said those words from this podium. No president has ever said those words. And it's about time. First Lady, her husband, Second Gentleman, Chief Justice, members of the United States Congress and the Cabinet, distinguished guests, my fellow Americans. While the setting tonight is familiar, this gathering is just a little bit different. A reminder of the extraordinary times we're in. Throughout our history, presidents have come to this chamber to speak to Congress, to the nation, and to the world. To declare war, to celebrate peace, to announce new plans and possibilities. Tonight, I come to talk about crisis and opportunity, about rebuilding the nation, revitalizing our democracy, and winning the future for America. I stand here tonight, one day shy of the 100th day of my administration. 100 days since I took the oath of office and lifted my hand off our family Bible and inherited a nation, we all did, that was in crisis. The worst pandemic in a century. The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. Now, after just 100 days, I can report to the nation, America is on the move again. Turning peril into possibility, crisis to opportunity.
Oh, sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I hope you're okay. Sorry about that.
But in America, we never, ever, ever stay down. Americans always get up. Today, that's what we're doing. America's rising anew. Choosing hope over fear, truth over lies, and light over darkness. After 100 days of rescuing the
Makoto.
America's ready for a takeoff.
That's good.
We're working again. Dreaming again. Discovering again. Leading
listen.
the world again. We've shown each other and the world that there's no
You
quit
see.
in America. None. 100 days ago, America's house was on fire. We had to act.
That's good.
Thanks to the extraordinary leadership of Speaker Pelosi, and Majority Leader Schumer, and the overwhelming support of the American people, Democrats, Independents, and Republicans, we did act. Together we passed the American Rescue Plan, one of the most consequential rescue packages in American history. We're already seeing the results. We're already seeing the results. After I promised we'd get 100 million COVID-19 vaccine shots.
Like I said, I'm psychic.
In 100 days, we will have provided over 220 million COVID shots in those 100 days. Thanks to all the help of all of you. We're marshaling, with your help, everyone's help, we're marshaling every federal resource. We've gotten vaccines to nearly 40,000 pharmacies and over 700 community health centers for the poorest of the poor.
Hey,
We're setting up community vaccination sites, developing mobile units to get the hard-to-reach communities. 90% of Americans now live within 5 miles of the vaccination center. Everyone
hey,
over the age of 16, everyone is now eligible to get vaccinated right away. Go get vaccinated, America.
Hey,
Go and get the vaccination. They're available. Eligible now. Born on January 20th, less than 1% of the seniors in America are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. 100 days later, 70% of seniors in America 65 are protected, fully protected. Senior deaths from COVID-19 are down 80% since January. 80% because of all of it. More than half of all the adults in America.
That's good.
At least one. Mass vaccination center in Glendale, Arizona.
Okay.
I asked the nurse. I said, "What's it like?" She looked at me. It's like every shot is giving a dose of hope. A dose of hope for an educator in Florida as a child suffering from autoimmune disease. Wrote to me. Said she's worried about bringing the virus home. She said she then got vaccinated at a large site in the car. She said she sat in her car and she got vaccinated and just
Hey,
cried out of joy. Cried out of relief.
Hey!
Parents.
How unfortunate.
Back to school.
Got it!
Teachers and school bus drivers. Grandparents hugging their children and grandchildren instead of pressing hands against the window to say goodbye. It means everything. Those things mean everything.
Okay, it looks like everyone's here. Time to start the meeting! Let's all go around and share what we found out during our respective investigations. The sooner we find out what's going on, the sooner we get out of here.
But tonight,
hold on a sec.
because of you, the American people,
What are you talking about?
progress these past 100 days against one of the worst pandemics in history. One of the greatest logistical achievements.
Aww.
This country's ever seen. What else have we done in this first year? We kept our commitment,
Huh?
Democrats and Republicans, sending $13
Yes, indeed.
5% of American households. We're already sending 160 million children. It's making a difference.
Come on.
All the different
You hear me?
she wrote me. She said, "Good work." She said, "Reach it. Put food on the table and save her and her son from eviction from their house." Grandmother in Virginia told me she immediately took her granddaughter to the eyebrow. Something she says she put off the month because she didn't have money. One of the defining images, at least from my perspective, of this crisis has been cars lined up. Cars lined up for miles. Not people just barely able to start those cars, nice cars. Lined up for miles. Waiting for a box of food to be put in their trunk. I don't know about you, but I do not think I see that. All of this is through fault of their own.
You see,
Delivering food and nutrition systems to millions of Americans facing hunger. The hunger is down sharply already. We're also providing rental assistance. American people to make sure they understand.
you see.
Being evicted from their home. Small businesses that reopen.
Listen to me!
Employees on the job.
Ah,
100 days.
yeah.
Additional 800,000 Americans enrolled in the Affordable Care Act. When I established a special sign-up period to do that. 800,000. We're making
And
the
plus-
largest one-time ever investment in improving healthcare for veterans. Critical investment because real good. Maybe most important, thanks to the American Rescue Plan, we're on track to
Hey, come on.
Quiet down and listen! Got it!
And in the process, while this is all going on, the economy created more than 1,200,000 new jobs in 100 days. More jobs in more jobs in the first
You
100
see.
days than any president on record. The International
What should I do?
Monetary Fund is now
This is bad. Bad, 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 bad!
Hey, come on.
You s- Sorry.
Yo. What? What? Shit.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, this sucks.
Throughout our history, think about it.
So then,
Investment in infrastructure has literally transformed America.
But
Attitudes as well as opportunities. Transcontinental
however,
interstate highway united two oceans, brought a totally new age of progress in the United States of America. Universal public schools and college aid opened wide the doors of opportunity.
You see.
Breakthroughs took us to the moon. Now we're on Mars. Discovering vaccines gave us the internet. And so much more.
Let's see.
These are investments we made together as one country.
Most unfortunate.
Investments in only
what the hell's wrong with you?
and again. They propel us into the future.
What
That's why
the?
we proposed the American Jobs Plan. A once-in-a-generation investment in America itself. This is the largest jobs plan since World War II.
Are you for real?
Creates jobs to upgrade our
Hey, come on.
infrastructure. Jobs. Roads, bridges, highways.
Hey,
Jobs building ports and airports, rail cars, transit lines. It's clean water. And today,
that's good.
10 million more than 400,000 schools and childcare centers have pipes with lead in them, including drinking water. A clear and present
Okay.
danger to our children's health. American Jobs Plan creates jobs replacing
That's-
100% of the nation's
But-
lead pipes and service lines, so every American can drink clean water. And the process will create thousands and thousands of good paying
hey, you bastard!
Actually,
jobs connecting every American with high-speed including 35%
shit.
that still doesn't have it. It's going to help our kids and our businesses succeed. I'm asking the Vice President to lead this effort. Because I know it'll get done. Creates jobs building a modern power grid. Our grids are vulnerable to storms, hacks, catastrophic failure.
Well.
What the heck?
But more important,
It
would seem-
thousands of miles of transmission line needed to build a resilient and
It's
fully
true.
clean grid. We can do that.
however,
American Jobs Plan
but
will help millions of people get back to the job, back to the career. 2 million women
Yo.
have dropped out of the workforce during this pandemic. 2 million. Too often because they couldn't get the care they
You
needed
know?
to care for their
what's your problem?
800,000 families on the Medicare waiting
Oh.
list right now
Are you okay with this?
for their aging parent or loved one with disability. If you think it's not important, check out in your own district, Democrat or Republican. Democrat or Republican voters. Their great concern, almost as much as the children, is taking care of an elderly loved one who can't be left.
Stop it!
Medicaid contemplated it, but this plan is going to help those families.
Seems
Create
like...
jobs for our caregivers with better wages and better benefits.
That's...
Continuing the cycle.
Do you understand?
For too long, we've failed to use the most important word
Actually,
when it comes to meeting
What?
the crisis. Jobs. Jobs. Jobs.
let's see.
For me, when I think climate change, I think jobs. American Jobs Plan. will
Are
give
you okay with
engineers and
this?
Construction workers to work building energy-efficient buildings and homes. Electrical workers, IBEW members installing
I see.
500,000 charging stations along our
Indeed.
highways. So we can own.
What can we do?
So we can own the electric car market.
Listen to me!
Farmers.
What?
Farmers.
This is
planting
fine.
Cover crops. So they can reduce the carbon dioxide in the air and get paid for doing
Let's
it.
see. I hope you are well.
Think about it. There is simply no reason why the blades for wind turbines can't be built in Pittsburgh instead of Beijing. No reason. None. No reason.
You understand?
So, folks,
Huh? What can we do?
there's no reason why
This sucks.
American workers can't lead the world in the production of electric
So in the end...
I mean, there is no reason. We have the capacity. We're the brightest, best paid people in the world. American Jobs Plan is going to create millions of good paying jobs, jobs Americans can raise a family on. As my dad would then say, with a little breathing room. And all the investments in the American Job Plan will be guided by one principle. Buy American. Buy American. And I might note parenthetically, that does not violate any trade agreement. It's been the law since the 30s. Buy American. American tax dollars are going to be used to buy American products made in America to create American jobs. That's the way it's supposed to be, and it will be in this administration.
Hey,
And I made it clear to all my cabinet people.
yeah.
The ability to give exemptions has been strenuously limited.
Listen up.
It will be American product. Now I know some of you at home are wondering.
Yes,
these jobs
indeed.
for you? So many of you, so many folks I grew up with, feel left behind. And the economy is so rapidly changing. I want to speak directly to you. Because you think about it. That's what people are more worried about. Can I fit in? Independent experts estimate
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then, sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bug
75% don't
bite.
require an associate's degree. The American Jobs Plan is a blue-collar blueprint to build America. That's what it is. And it recognizes something I've always said in this chamber and the other. Good guys and women on Wall Street, but Wall Street didn't build this country. The middle class built the country, and unions built the middle class. So that's why I'm calling on Congress to pass Protect the Right to Organize Act, the PRO Act, and send it to my desk so we can support the right to unionize. And by the way, while you're thinking about sending things to my desk,
I swear to you, I will send you all off into a new tomorrow!
$15. No one working 40 hours a week. No one working 40 hours a week should live below the poverty line.
Good morning, everyone. It is now 7 a.m. and nighttime is officially over. Time to rise and shine. Get ready to greet another beautiful day.
And finally, American jobs plan will be the biggest increase in non-defense research and development on record. We'll see more technological change. Some of you know more about this than I do. We'll see more technological change in the next 10 years than we saw in the last 50. That's how rapidly artificial intelligence, so much more is changing. And we're falling behind the competition with the rest of the world. Decades ago, we used to invest 2% of our gross research and development. Today,
You understand?
Secretary, that's less than 1%. China and other countries are closing in fast. We have to develop and dominate the products and technologies of the future. Advanced batteries, biotechnology, computers.
Makoto.
The Secretary of Defense can tell you, and those of you on work in national security issues know, the Defense Department has an agency called DARPA.
I'm sorry.
The Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. The people who set up before I came a long time ago.
Stop talking. I don't have time to play with you.
That enhance our national security. It's their only job. It's semi-separate agencies under the Defense Department. It's led to everything from the discovery of the internet
Right.
to GPS and so much more. It's enhanced our security. The National Institute of Health, the NIH, I believe, will create a similar advanced research projects agency.
I'm sorry. Oh.
And here's what it would do. It would have a singular purpose: to develop breakthroughs to prevent, detect, and treat diseases like Alzheimer's, diabetes, and cancer. I'll still never forget when we passed the cancer proposal in the last year as vice president. Almost $9 million going to NIH. And excuse the point of personal privilege. I get my hand and mention saying name it after my deceased son. They're alive. But so many others. Deceased sons, brothers, died of cancer. I think we got no more worthy investment. I know of nothing that is more bipartisan. So let's end cancer as we know. It's within our power. It's within our power to do it.
Hi, Makoto. Listen.
Investments in jobs, such like the ones we're talking about. Vice President Harris and I met regularly in the Oval Office with Democrats and Republicans to discuss the topic. Republican senators have just put forward their own proposal. So let's get to work. I wanted to lay out before the
Like I
Congress
said,
the
I'm
plan
psychic.
before we got into the deep discussions. I'd like to meet with those who have ideas that are different, who think are better. I welcome those ideas. But the rest of the world is not waiting for us. I just want to be clear. From my perspective, doing nothing is not an option. Look, we can't be so busy competing with one another and forget the competition that we have with the rest of the world to win the 21st century. I spent a lot of time building a shooting. Travel over 17,000 miles. Spent over 24 hours in private discussion. Involved with your graduate, we had a 2-hour discussion. He's deadly earnest. He's becoming the most significant consequential nation in the world. He and others.
What's your problem?
Autocrats think that democracy can't compete in the 21st century.
Just a second.
It takes too long to get consensus. Win that competition
Wait.
for the future.
Well,
In my view, we also need to make a once-in-a-generation investment in our family connection.
hey, Makoto.
That's why I've introduced
Yeah.
American Families Law, which addresses four of the biggest challenges facing American families in America.
However,
First is access to good education. When this nation made 12 years of public education universal in the last century, it made us the best educated, best prepared nation in the world.
Hi.
It's, I believe, the overwhelming reason that propelled
Come
us
on.
to where we got in the 20th century.
What?
The world,
Sorry.
we're catching up. We're not waiting. I would say parenthetically, if we were sitting down, we set a bipartisan committee together and said, okay, we're going to decide what we do in terms of government providing for free education. I wonder whether we'd think, as we did in the 20th century, that 12 years is enough in the 21st century. I doubt it. 12 years is no longer enough to compete with the rest of the world in the 21st century. The American Families Plan guarantees 4 additional years of public education for every person in America, starting as early as we can. The great universities in this country have conducted studies for the last 10 years. It shows that adding 2 years of universal high-quality preschool for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old, no matter what background they come from, puts them in a position to be able to compete all the way through 12 years and increases exponentially their prospect of graduating and going on beyond graduation. Research shows when a young child goes to school, not daycare, they're far more likely to graduate from high school and go to college or something after high school. We had 2 years of free community college on top of that to begin to change the dynamic. We can do that. And we'll increase Pell Grants and invest in historical black colleges, universities, tribal colleges, minority-serving institutions. The reason is they don't have the endowments. But their students are just as capable of learning about cybersecurity, just as capable of learning about metallurgy, all the things that are going on that provide those jobs in the future. Jill is a community college professor who teaches today as First Lady.
Hey,
She's long said, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. Joe, any country that out-educates us is going to out-compete us. She'll be deeply involved in leading this effort. Thank you, Joe. Second thing we need, American Families Plan will provide access to quality, affordable child care. We guarantee I'm proposing in legislation, we guarantee that low and middle-income families will pay no more than 7% of their income
Sorry.
quality care for children up to the age of 5. The most hard-pressed working families won't have to spend a dime. Third, the American Families Plan will finally provide up to 12 weeks of paid leave and medical leave, family medical. We're one of the few industrial countries in the world.
Listen.
No one should have to choose between a job and a paycheck, or taking care of themselves and their loved ones, or parent or spouse or child. And fourth, the American Family Plan puts directly into the pockets of millions of Americans. In March, we expanded tax credit for every child in a family, up to $3,000 per child if you're under 6 years of age. Over 6 years of age. And $3,600 for children over 6 years of age. With 2 parents, 2 kids, that's $7,200 in the pockets that are going to help take care of your family. And that will help more than 65 million children and help cut child care poverty in half. And we can afford it. So we did that in the last legislation we passed. But let's extend that child care tax credit at least through the end of 2025.
But that's why.
The American Rescue Plan lowered health care premiums for 9 million Americans who buy their coverage under the Affordable Care Act. I know that's really popular this side of the aisle.
You see.
But let's make that provision permanent so their premiums don't go back up. In addition to my family's plan, I'm going to work with Congress to address this year other critical priorities for American families. The Affordable Care Act has been a lifeline for millions of Americans, protecting people with pre-existing conditions, protecting women's health, and the pandemic has demonstrated how badly it's needed.
Okay.
Let's lower deductibles for working families. And let's lower prescription drug costs. We know how to do this. The last president had that as an objective. We all know how outrageously expensive drugs are in America. In fact, we pay the highest prescription drug prices of anywhere in the world, right here in America. Nearly 3 times for the same drug, nearly 3 times what other countries pay. We have to change that if we can. Let's do what we talked about for all the years I was down here in this body, in Congress. Let's give Medicare the power to save hundreds of billions of dollars by negotiating lower drug prescription prices. By the way, it won't just help people on Medicare. Lower prescription drug costs for everyone.
Sorry.
The money we save, which is billions of dollars, can go to strengthen the Affordable Care Act and expand Medicare coverage benefits without costing taxpayers an additional penny. It's within our power to do it. Let's do it now.
But that's
We've
why.
talked about it long enough. Democrats and Republicans. Let's get it done this year. This is all about a simple premise. Health care should be a right, not a privilege in America. So,
Hey,
how do we pay for our job and family plan? I made it clear we can do it without increasing the deficits. Let's start with what I will not do. I will not impose any tax increase on people making less than $400,000. But it's time for corporate America and the wealthiest 1% of Americans to just begin to pay their fair share. Just their fair share.
Oh no!
Sometimes I have arguments with my friends in the Democratic Party. I think you should be able to become a billionaire and a millionaire.
You see,
Pay your fair share. A recent study shows that 55 of the nation's biggest corporations paid zero federal tax last year. Those 55 corporations made in excess of $40 billion in profit. A lot of companies also evade taxes.
Like I said,
tax
I'm
havens in
psychic.
Switzerland, Bermuda, and the Cayman Islands. And they benefit from tax loopholes and deductions for offshoring jobs and shifting profits overseas. It's not right. We're going to reform corporate taxes so they pay their fair share and help pay for the public investments their businesses will benefit from as well.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10
Take the
p.m.
top tax bracket for the wealthiest 1% of
As
Americans.
such, it is officially
Those making over $400,000 or
nighttime.
more.
Soon the
Back up to
doors
where
to
it
the
was when
dining
George
hall
W.
will be
Bush was
locked,
president.
and
It
entry at
started.
that point is strictly
39.6%.
prohibited. Okay
That's what it
then,
was when
sweet
George
dreams,
W.
everyone. Good night.
We're going to get
Sleep
rid of the
tight.
loopholes. A lot of
Don't let
Americans
the
can
bed
make more
bugs
than $1
bite.
million a year and pay a lower tax rate on their capital gains than Americans who receive a paycheck. We're only going to affect 0.3% of all Americans by that action. 0.3%. And the IRS is going to crack down on millionaires and billionaires who cheat on their taxes. It's estimated to be billions of dollars by think tanks that are left, right, and center. I'm not looking to punish anybody, but I will not add a tax burden, additional tax burden to the middle class in this country. They're already paying enough. I believe what I propose is fair, fiscally responsible, and it raises revenue to pay for the plans I propose and will create millions of jobs that will grow the economy and enhance the financial standing of the country.
Heart-pounding
When you hear someone
excitement!
say they don't want to raise taxes on the wealthiest 1% or corporate America, ask them whose taxes you want to raise. Instead, who's they going to cut?
Good morning, everyone.
Look,
It is now.
the big tax cut of 2017. Remember, it was supposed to pay for itself. That was how it was. And generate vast economic growth. Instead, it added $2 trillion to the deficit. It was a huge windfall for corporate America and those at the very top. Instead of using the tax saving to raise wages and invest in research and development, it poured billions of dollars into the pockets of CEOs. In fact, the pay gap between CEOs and their workers is now among the largest in history. According to one study, CEOs make 320 times what the average worker in their corporation makes. It used to be in below 100. The pandemic has only made things worse. 20 million Americans lost their job in the pandemic, working in middle-class America. At the same time, roughly 650 billionaires in America saw their net worth increase by more than $1 trillion in the same exact period. Let me say it again. 650 people increased their wealth by more than $1 trillion during this pandemic. And they're now worth more than $4 trillion. My fellow Americans, trickle down economics has never worked. And it's time to grow the economy from the bottom and the middle out. You know, there's a broad consensus of economists left, right, and center, and they agree what I'm proposing will help create millions of jobs and generate historic economic growth. These are among the highest values investments we can make as a nation. I've often said Our greatest strength is the power of our example, not just the example of our
You see,
In my conversations with world leaders, when I've spoken to over 38, 40 of them, I've made it known. I've made it known that America's back. You know what they say? The comment I hear most of all from them? They say, we see America's back, but for how long? But for how long? My fellow Americans, we have to show not just that we're back, but we're back to stay. And that we aren't going to go it alone. We're going to do it by leading with our allies. No one nation can deal with all the crises of our time, from terrorism to nuclear proliferation, mass migration, cybersecurity, climate change, as well as what we're experiencing now, pandemics. There's no wall high enough to keep any virus out. And our own vaccine supply, as it grows, to meet our needs, and we're meeting them, will become an arsenal for vaccines for other countries. Just as
listen.
America is the arsenal for democracy for the world. And in consequence, influence the world. But every American will have access. Every American will have access to be fully covered by COVID-19 for the vaccines we have. Look, the climate crisis is not our fight alone, it's a global fight.
Oh no!
The United States accounts, as all of you know, less than 15% of carbon emissions. The rest of the world accounts for 85%. That's why I kept my commitment to rejoin the Paris Accord, because if we do everything perfectly,
Hey,
it's not going to only matter. I kept my commitment to convene a climate summit right here in
that's
America
good.
with all the major economies of the world. China, Russia, India, European Union. And I said I'd do it in my 100 days. I want to be very
Like I said, I'm psychic.
I had
Okay.
my attempt was to make sure that the world could see that there was a consensus
Okay.
that we are at an inflection point in history. The consensus is if we act to save the planet, we can create millions of jobs and economic growth and opportunity to raise the standard of living of almost everyone around the world. If you watched any of it and you were all busy, I'm sure you didn't have much time. That's what virtually every nation said, even the ones that aren't doing their share. The investments I proposed tonight also advance a foreign policy, in my view, that benefits the middle class. That means making sure every nation plays by the same rules in the global economy, including China. In my discussion with President Xi, I told him, we welcome the competition. We're not looking for conflict. But I made absolutely clear that we will defend America's interest across the board. America will stand up to unfair trade practices that undercut American workers and American industries, like subsidies from state to state-owned operations and enterprises. And
Which is why I said I need that pick-me-up.
I also told President Xi that we'll maintain a strong military presence in the Indo-Pacific, just as we do with NATO and Europe. Not to start a conflict, but to prevent one.
Good morning, everyone. It is now 7 a.m. and nighttime is officially over.
told her
Time
what
to
I've said
rise
to
and
many world
shine.
leaders, that America will not back away from our commitments.
Get ready to
Commitment
greet
human
another
rights and fundamental freedoms
beautiful
and our
day.
alliances. And I pointed out to him, no responsible American president could remain silent when basic human rights are being so blatantly violated. An American president has to represent the essence of what our country stands for. America is an idea.
Hey!
The most unique idea in history. We are created, all of us equal. It's who we are. And we cannot walk away
Without
from
a
that
doubt.
principle.
You hear me?
Say we're dealing with the American idea. With regard to Russia, I know it concerns some of you.
Quiet down and
Very
listen!
clear to Putin
Got it!
that we're not going to seek escalation. But their actions will have consequences. They turn out to be true, and they turned out to be true. So I responded directly and proportionally to Russia's interference in our elections and the cyber attacks on our government and our business. They did both of these things, and I told them we would respond, and we have. We can also cooperate when it's our mutual interest.
What's your
We
problem?
did it when we extended the New START Treaty on nuclear arms, and we're working to do it on climate change. But he understands. We will respond. On Iran and North Korea, nuclear programs that present serious threats to American security and the security of the world. We're going to be working closely with our allies to address the threats posed by both of these countries through diplomacy as well as stern deterrence.
Hey!
And American leadership means ending the forever war
Are you
in
for real?
Afghanistan. We have
How are you
We have, without hyperbole, the greatest fighting force in the history of the world. I'm the first president in 40 years who knows what it means to have a son serving in a war zone. Today we have service members serving in the same war zone as their parents did. We have service members in Afghanistan who are not yet born on 9/11. The war in Afghanistan, as we remember the debates here, were never meant to be multi-generational undertakings of nations. We went to Afghanistan to get terrorists, the terrorists who attacked us on 9/11.
Yo.
And we said we would follow some of
This
bin Laden's
sucks.
gates of hell. Do it.
Listen to me!
You've been in the upper Konar Valley, you've kind of seen the gates of hell.
Quiet down and
We
listen!
delivered justice to bin Laden.
Give me a break.
We degraded the terrorist threat of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. And after 20 years of valor, and sacrifice, it's time to bring those troops home. Look, even as we do, we'll maintain over-the-horizon capacity to suppress future threats to the homeland. Make no mistake, in 20 years, terrorism has metastasized.
I mean, seriously?
But more important-
Those of you in the intelligence
Seriously?
committees, the Foreign
Hey!
Relations Committee, defense committees,
Are you okay with
well.
this?
we have to remain vigilant against the threats.
Do
to the
you
United States wherever
understand?
they come from. Al-Qaeda and ISIS are in Yemen,
Stop it!
Syria, Somalia, other places in Africa, in the Middle East, and beyond.
What the hell is
We won't
this?
ignore what our intelligence agencies
What?
determined
What?
to be the most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today. White supremacy.
Piece of shit!
We're not going to ignore that either. My fellow Americans, look, we have to come together to heal the soul of this nation. Nearly a year ago, before her father's funeral, when I spoke with Gianna Floyd, George Floyd's young daughter.
Hey, listen.
So I was kneeling down to talk to her. I could look her in the eye. She looked at me, she said, my dad
Got it!
George Floyd's murder.
You know?
We can see how right she was if we have the courage to act as a Congress. We've all seen the knee of injustice on the neck of black Americans. Now's our opportunity to make some real progress. The vast majority of men and women wearing a uniform and a badge serve our communities, and they serve them honorably. I know them. I know they want...
Huh?
But
Hey, hold on.
I know
yeah!
they want to help meet this moment as well. My fellow Americans, we have to come together.
Cause,
To rebuild
I mean,
trust between law enforcement and the people they serve. To root out systemic racism in our communities. And enact police reform. George
What's
Floyd's
this?
name. that passed the House.
Bastard!
I know Republicans
You
have
guys.
and are engaged in a very productive discussions with Democrats in the Senate. We need to work together to find a consensus. But let's get it done next week. On the first anniversary of George Floyd's death.
What the hell?
You know?
You're
Country
fucking dead.
supports this reform, and Congress should act. We have a giant opportunity
Hey, come
to
on.
bend the arc of the moral universe towards justice, real justice.
You son of a
And with
bitch!
the plans outlined tonight, we have a real chance to root out systemic racism that plagues America and American lives in other ways.
I got it!
A chance to deliver real equity.
In other words,
Good jobs, good schools, affordable housing, clean air, clean water, to generate wealth and pass it down to generations.
Stop
because you have
fucking
access to
around.
purchase a house.
hey,
Real opportunities in the lives
You
of
son of a
Black,
bitch.
white, Latino, Asian Americans, Native Americans.
how
I also want to thank the
exciting!
United States Senate for voting 94
Hello.
to pass COVID-19 hate crime to protect Asian American and Pacific
Correct.
Islanders. You act decisively.
Just there. That's all.
You can see
Well,
on
now.
television the viciousness of the hate crime we've seen over the past year and for too long. I urge the House to do the same and send that legislation to my desk, which I will gladly.
Is that
anxiously
right?
sign. I also hope Congress will get to my desk
However,
the Equality Act to protect LGBTQ
That's
Americans.
true.
For all transgender Americans watching at home, especially young people,
Hell yeah.
you're so brave. I want you to know your president has your back. Another thing, let's authorize the Violence Against Women Act, which has been law for
Jesus
27
Christ.
years.
Piece of shit! Stop fucking around.
27 years ago, I wrote it.
Hell yeah.
We'll close the
Hey,
act that has to be authorized now. We'll close
Yo.
the boyfriend loophole. To keep guns out of the hands of abusers, the court order said this is an abuser. You can't own a gun. It's to close that loophole that existed. You know, it's estimated that 50 women are shot and killed by an intimate partner every month in America. 50 a month. Let's pass it. It saves some lives. And I need not tell anyone this. Gun violence has become an epidemic in America. The flag at the White House was still flying at half-mast for the 8 victims of the mass shooting in Georgia, when 10 more lives were taken in the mass shooting in Colorado. And in the week in between those two events,
Hold on a second.
250 other Americans were shot dead in the streets of America. 250 shot dead. I know how hard it is to make progress on this issue. In the 90s, we passed universal background checks. A ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines that hold 100 rounds. that can be
You getting
fired
picked
off
to
in
attend
seconds.
Hope's Peak Academy is like a dream come true. Make sure you do your
Mass
best.
shootings and
I'm
gun
so
violence
proud of you,
decline.
son.
Check out
But
the
remember,
report over 10.
don't push yourself too hard.
But
Are
in
you
early
really watching this,
2000,
Makoto? Good luck,
the law
okay?
expired. And we've seen daily bloodshed since. I'm not saying if the law continued, we wouldn't see bloodshed. More than 2 weeks ago in the Rose Bowl, surrounded by some of the bravest people I know, the survivors and families who lost loved ones to gun violence, I laid out several of the Department of Justice actions that are being taken to impact this epidemic. One of them is banning so-called ghost guns.
Makoto Naegi accepted into Hope's Peak Academy, and his family, who supported such a lucky boy. But it seems like something's happened to this family's well-being. Oh boy, this is bad. What could have possibly happened to this family's well-being?
Anyone, from a criminal or terrorist, could buy this kit in 30 minutes, have a weapon that's lethal. but no more. And I'll do everything I can to protect the American people from this epidemic of gun violence. But it's time for Congress to act as well. Look.
Is it, like... What does this mean?
I don't want to be...
What the...
But we need more Senate Republicans to join the overwhelming majority of Democrats.
Hey, hold on!
Close the loop. We need a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
I see.
We did it before and it worked.
Yes, indeed.
That's the most responsible gun owners. I'll tell you, there's no possible justification for having 100 rounds in a weapon. What do you think, deer wearing Kevlar vests? I tell you that there are too many people today who are able to buy...
Do you understand?
...but shouldn't be able to buy a gun. These kinds of reasonable reforms have overwhelming support from the American people, including many gun owners. The country supports the guns, and Congress should act.
What is
It
this?
shouldn't be
Hey!
a red or blue issue. And no amendment to the Constitution is absolute.
So then,
You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. From the very beginning, there were certain guns, weapons, that could not be owned by Americans. Certain people could not
What's your
own
problem?
those weapons ever. We're not changing the Constitution.
That's enough.
We're being I think this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. I think it's an American issue.
what?
And here's what else we can do. Immigration has always been essential to America.
I hope you are well.
Let's end our exhausting war of immigration. For more than 30 years, politicians have talked about immigration reform. They've done nothing.
What should I
Time to
do?
fix it. On day one of my presidency, I kept my commitment and sent a comprehensive immigration bill to the United States Congress. If you believe we need to secure the border, pass it because it has a lot of money for high-tech border security. If you believe in the pathway to citizenship, pass it. Over 11 million undocumented folks, the vast majority of here overstaying visas. Pass it. If you actually want to solve a problem, I've sent a bill to take a close look at it. We also have to get at the root problem of why people are fleeing, particularly to our southern border from Guatemala.
Because, I mean,
The violence, the corruption, the gangs, the political instability, hunger, hurricanes, earthquakes, natural disasters. When I was president, when I was vice president, the president asked me to focus on providing help needed to address the root causes of migration. And it helped keep people in their own countries instead of being forced to leave.
Huh?
The plan was working. The last administration decided...
Is that
it was not
okay?
working. I'm restoring the program and asked Vice President Harris to lead our diplomatic effort to take care of this. With absolute confidence she'll get the job. Now look, if you don't like my plan, let's at least pass what we all agree on. Congress needs to pass legislation this year to finally secure protection for dreamers. For young people who've only known America as their home. And
What?
permanent protection for immigrants
Shit.
who are here on
Stop fucking around.
who came from countries beset by man-made and natural-made violence and disaster. As well as a pathway to citizenship for foreign workers who put food on our table. Look, immigrants have done so much for America during this pandemic and throughout our history. The country supports immigration reform. We should act. Let's argue over it. Let's debate it. Let's act. And if we truly want to restore the soul of America, we need to protect the sacred right to vote. Most people more people voted in the last presidential election than any time in American history. In the middle of the worst pandemic ever. should be celebrated. Instead, it's being Congress should pass H.R. 1 and the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and send it to my desk right away. The country supports it, and Congress should act now. Look, in conclusion, as we gather here tonight, the image of a violent mob assaulting this Capitol, desecrating our democracy, remains vivid in all our minds. Lives were put at risk, many of your lives. Lives were lost. Extraordinary courage was summoned. The insurrection was an existential crisis, a test of whether our democracy could survive, and it did. But the struggle is far from over. The question of whether our democracy will long endure is both ancient and urgent. As old as our republic, still vital today. Can our democracy deliver on its promise?
But more important,
That all of us, created equal in the image of God, had a chance to lead lives of dignity, respect, and possibility. Can our democracy deliver to the most pressing needs of our people? Can our democracy overcome the lies, anger, hate, and fears that have pulled us apart? America's adversaries, the autocrats of the world, are betting we can't. And I promise you they're betting we can't. They believe we're too full of anger and division and rage. They look at the images of the mob that assaulted the Capitol as proof that the sun is setting on American democracy. But they're wrong. You know it, I know it. But we have to prove them wrong. We have to prove democracy still works, that our government still works, and we can deliver for our people. In our first 100 days together, we've acted to restore people's faith in democracy to deliver. We're vaccinating the nation. We're creating hundreds of thousands of new jobs. We're delivering real results to people. They can see it, feel it in their own lives. Opening doors of opportunity, guaranteeing some more fairness and justice. That's the essence of America. That's democracy in action. Our Constitution opens with the words, as trite as it sounds, we the people. Well, it's time to remember that we the people are the government. You and I. Not some force in the distant capital. Not some powerful force that we have no control over. It's us. It's we the people. In another era, when our democracy was tested, Franklin Roosevelt reminded us, in America, we do our part. We all do our part. That's all I'm asking. That we do our part, all of us. And if we do that, we will meet the center challenge of the age by proving that democracy is durable and strong. Autocrats will not win the future. We will. America will. And the future belongs to America. As I stand here tonight before you in a new and vital hour of life and democracy of our nation, and I can say with absolute confidence, I have never been more confident or optimistic about America. Not because I'm president, because of what's happening with the American people. We've stared into the abyss of insurrection and autocracy, pandemic and pain, and we, the people, did not flinch. The very moment our adversaries were certain we'd pull apart and fail, we came together, reunited. With light and hope, we summoned a new strength, new resolve, to position us to win the competition of the 21st century. On our way to a union more perfect, more prosperous, and more just. As one people, one nation, and one America. Folks, I've told every world leader I've ever met with over the years, it's never, ever, ever been a good bet to bet against America, and it still isn't. We're the United States of America. There's not a single thing, nothing beyond our capacity. We can do whatever we set our minds to if we do it together. So let's begin to get together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you for your patience.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks